Nas. The untold story of an American rapper and songwriter. Nas, by name of Nassi bin Aludera Jones, also called Nasty Nas, born September 14, 1973, Brooklyn, New York, US, American rapper and songwriter who became a dominant voice in 1990s East Coast hip-hop. Nas built a reputation as an expressive chronicler of inner city street life. His musical career began in 1991 as a featured artist on Main Source's Live at the Barbecue. MTV ranked him at #5 on their list of the greatest MCs of all time. In 2012, The Source ranked him #2 on their list of the top 50 lyricists of all time. In 2013, Nas was ranked 4th on MTV's Hottest MCs in the Game list. About.com ranked him 1st on their list of the 50 greatest MCs of all time in 2014, and a year later, Nas was featured on the 10 best rappers of all time list by Billboard. Nassi bin Aludera Jones was born on September 14, 1973, in Brooklyn, New York. His father, Aludera, born Charles Jones III, is a jazz and blues musician from Mississippi. His mother, Fanny Ann Little Jones, was a postal service worker from North Carolina. He has one sibling, a brother named Jabari Fred, who is best known as Jungle, a member of the hip-hop group Brotherhoods. His father took his name Aludera from the Yoruba people. His African DNA indicates he has roots in countries with high Yoruba populations. Nigeria. His matrilineal DNA haplogroup is of African origin, found among the Yoruba and Fulbe populations in Western Africa. As a young child, Nas and his family relocated to the Queensbridge houses in the Long Island City neighborhood of Queens. His neighbor, Willie Will Graham, influenced his interest in hip-hop by playing him records. His parents divorced in 1985, and he dropped out of school after the 8th grade. He educated himself about African culture through the 5% Nation and the Nubian Nation. In his early years, he played the trumpet and began writing his own rhymes. He searched for a creative outlet, finally settling on hip-hop as a teenager. Nas enlisted his best friend and upstairs neighbor Willie Will Graham as his DJ. Nas initially went by the nickname Kid Wave, before adopting his more commonly known alias of Nasty Nas. In the late 1980s, he met up with the producer Large Professor and went to the studio, where Akum and Kool G Rap were recording their albums. When they were not in the recording studio, Nas would go into the booth and record his own material. His breakthrough came in 1992, when his song Halftime, credited to Nasty Nas, appeared on the soundtrack to the film Zebrahead. Columbia Records soon signed him to a contract. His debut recording as Nas, Illmatic, 1994, drew widespread acclaim for its poetic narration of hard-edged inner city life. The more pop-oriented approach of it was written, 1996, helped that album reach an even wider audience than its predecessor, but ignited a recurring tension in Nas's career between the appetite of the pop audience and the demands of hip-hop purists. He maintained his commercial appeal with I Am, 1999. Although by that time he had also become embroiled in a public feud with fellow rapper Jay-Z over which of the two was the preeminent voice in East Coast hip-hop. The schism-inspired Stillmatic, 2001, which many fans considered a return to form, and was referred to on the more personal God's Son, 2002, which was also a response to the death of Nas's mother. The two rappers publicly settled their differences in 2005, and shortly thereafter Nas signed with Definition Jam, of which Jay-Z was president at the time. Nas's penchant for provocation marked Hip Hop Is Dead, 2006, and an untitled follow-up, 2008, While Life Is Good, 2012, struck an introspective tone. He also notably collaborated with reggae musician Damian Marley, the youngest son of Bob Marley, on the album Distant Relatives, 2010. Nasty, 2018, produced by Kanye West, was regarded by many reviewers as disappointing, not least because it failed to address allegations of abuse from his former, 2005-10, wife, singer Kellis. Nass also made occasional film appearances, notably in Belly, 1998, a crime drama in which he starred opposite rapper DMX, and Black Nativity, 2013, an adaptation of Langston Hughes' gospel play. In 2018 he appeared in the independent film Monster, based on an acclaimed novel by Walter Dean Myers. The Grammy Awards are held annually by the National Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences. Nass has 13 Grammy nominations altogether. In an October 2014 episode of PBS's Finding Your Roots, Nass learned about 5 generations of his ancestry. His great-great-great-grandmother, Pocahontas Little, was a slave who was sold for $830. When host Henry Louis Gates showed Nass her bill of sale and told him more about the man who bought her, Nass remarked that he is considering buying the land where he lived. Nass is also shown the marriage certificate of his great-great-great-grandmother, Pocahontas, and great-great-great-grandfather, Calvin. Nass is a New York Mets fan.